So, back in the year 1400, the first smartphone was invented by Kodak. It wasn't very smart, but it did have a cheese grater built into the back of it for the Parmesan, but there was a lot of lawsuits on that one. But Kodak looked within. They looked within their hearts and said, we can improve this phone. Let's add a camera. Oh my God, right now. And all the camera companies at the time gave each other a nervous look. The phones are taking pictures now. Why are we even here? Should we kill ourselves? But cameras were still better. You could zoom farther, blur your background. They had an advantage. But over the next 3,000 years, that advantage slimmed down.
All I want is the perfect camera. All I want is the perfect camera.
So let's face it, for the average person who just wants to take pictures of their steak and potato dinner and text it to their mom, smartphone's gonna do you good. If they just want a picture of their cat, you want the cat to do something fun, but it doesn't. It doesn't care about you or your wishes. Nowadays, the smartphones got the dual cam systems, and they can blur the background artificially. If you're looking at a picture, especially if you're looking at it on a smartphone, you might be hard pressed to tell the difference between an actual professional DSLR and a little smartphone that you have with you all the time. Not me personally, I still use a Samsung Galaxy S4 for life until it explodes, which it might. I don't need the camera. I'm a camera guy. I like the professional camera. And I'll tell you why we still have a chance against the smarties. So first off, we do a little test. I got the latest and greatest smartphone. My buddy got it here. Shut your mouth. The Huawei P20. It's got a slightly larger than micro sensor. It's a little bit bigger. So technically it should be king of the mountain. Maybe. So we're gonna do a little test here. How's the stabilization? How does it look comparing to this? Let's check it out. That feels wrong, because it's on the bottom.
Yeah, it's not. They're not feel good like.
We got a camera phone to test. Oh my God. The P20, newest phone on the market. We got the latest technology here on the Camera Conspiracies network. Can you believe this right now? My friend has this phone. I just want to test it. What's the quality like? Just doing a sample little test. We'll do a little stabilization test. 1080p only because the 4K sucks in stabilization. It's too shaky. How's that? How's that? You impressed? So I'll compare this to my other Sony and see what looks better. God. How close can you get? Is it still? So what if we're comparing that stabilization to the Panasonic G85? Does it even have a chance? Come on now, son. Come on now. We're floating in butter right now, admit it. So what if we're comparing that stabilization to the Panasonic G85? Does it even have a chance? Come on now, son. Come on now. We're floating in butter right now, admit it. Now I'll be honest with you, I have no idea if I even turned the stabilization on or not. It felt like it was off, because if that was on, that's embarrassing. That is embarrassing stabilization, Huawei. But my friend said it was on. I don't know all the menu stuff, but it was shit. And the quality was crap. But I took a couple pictures. I'm gonna try to replicate the exact frame with this Panasonic G85 with a super 25mm f/0.95 lens. We'll compare the background blur, artificial to real old-timey goodness. Let's take a look at that. Okay, we got the G85 on the left, the Huawei P20 on the right, and let's just first come to the realization that I don't know what the hell I'm doing in life in general and in photo comparisons. I was wondering why I had such a hard time lining up these shots to replicate them, and I just realized now I took this in 16:9 wide aspect ratio. So that's who you're listening to for advice. A damn well clown village idiot. So if I'm looking at the two shots, if I'm being honest with you, the Huawei is the better shot. It's a more dramatic looking image. I'm sharper, better contrast. I'm better composed. No, that's not the word. Compressed? No. Exposed. Yes, I am brighter and sharper and just, it looks better. The background's blurrier and the colors are popping more. It's like, wow, smartphones, huh? If we zoom in a little, it is very possible that I missed focus, but I shot this wide open at f/0.95, so it's tough to nail focus, and it's a little soft wide open anyway, this lens, the Mitacon. But now if I'm looking at it, now I'm seeing the Huawei's like a little over sharpened. If I'm looking at my hairs, they look weird, like I have hair plugs or something. And I don't. So yeah, the bokeh doesn't look quite as natural possibly, but it is more vibrant looking. Yeah, I don't know. What do you guys think? What's the better looking photo? To me, the Huawei is the more dramatic piece, and it definitely holds its own. It's like you wouldn't be like, oh no, I need to have this one. Oh man, that micro four thirds sensor, my god. But I took another photo in low light, indoors. Let's see what that looks like. Okay, so now same, G85 on the left, Huawei on the right. If I'm looking at it, I'm seeing tons of noise in the shadows. I tried to lift them up a little bit, but even when I didn't touch it, there was tons of noise. Like, it falls apart in low light, and that's what should happen. I mean, that's what the bigger sensor cameras are all about. They do better in low light. So it's like, if you're in bright sunlight, the smartphone's gonna do just as good, if not better now with this new technology. It's when you get into the low light that we start seeing a difference. And now we're seeing just a bit more balanced. It's a bit more balanced looking. I mean, the Huawei definitely has that just artificial look to it. It's like computerized and digital, the over sharpening of my beard and my hair. It's definitely a little weird. And this lens of mine is just, it's a little soft. It's kind of dreamy. Gives you the nice dewy skin, like you've just been to Hawaii and you ate a papaya off the tree. You're happy about it. So in the low light, indoors, I think I prefer the G85 now. I think it's the better shot. Overall, it just looks higher quality. You can tell. It's like, yeah, this one probably costs more. It's the better camera. But I'm not blown away or anything. This was shot at either 0.95 or f1.4, I forget. But the background, not that blurry. I can tell that's a fridge, and I hate that. I know there's food in there. I hate that. So I will admit, for simple pictures of human beings meandering about their mediocre lives, smartphone's gonna capture your misery just fine. Just fine. Do you really need to bring out the big boys? Probably not, unless you're making a print. Do people do that anymore? I've never done it. But I'm a videographer, kind of. Not really, but I make videos, and I don't print my videos that often. So here's where smartphones, in my opinion, will never catch up to the mirrorless. It's video that they're lacking. You can take your fancy picture and blur the background out artificially in a photo, but you can't do that for video. How are you going to measure real time cutting out my face and tracking it and blurring all this? Like, you'd blow up. The camera phone would get so hot you'd burn your hands. Worse than the Kodak Greater fiasco of 1417. So fact is, if you want good video, you're gonna notice the difference big time on a mirrorless camera versus a smartphone. You can do some vloggy stuff, but in my opinion, even the Sony X3000 is gonna beat all the smartphones so far for video. It's got the wide angle, super stabilization. We'll do a little test comparing it to the Huawei's embarrassing stabilization that may or may not even have been turned on? Let's do that now. Now we compare to the little Sony X3000 and its stabilization. Sorry about the air conditioner noise from down below. They keep it on all day. How's that stabilization? You can't even think of comparing Huawei. So the video quality is much better on a mirrorless unless your camera has two N's and a C and an A, possibly an O on it. You suck, M50. You're the worst camera I've ever seen. Another area where smartphones may never reach is the distance. Oh, we blew all those highlights. I blew them hard, guys. Didn't take me long either. I don't know any professional nature photographers that use a smartphone to capture the hawks grabbing the fish out of the water. It's not gonna happen. Like, I got this glorious shot, which I won like 15 awards for. No one's ever done it. A bird with its mouth open against the blue sky. I was waiting for that bird 4 hours in the bushes. The only reason I got that was because I had a 1200 millimeter equivalent reach, and I used every millimeter of those millimeters. So for nature and sports, smartphones ain't gonna hack it. And those are the most exciting pictures, in my opinion. I love the nature shots. In astrophotography, can it be done yet on the smartphone? I don't know. The tiny sensor and the aperture, oh my god, birds. They played chicken with me. They flew right at me and then, turned off. That was just rude. And just in general usability, they are lighter. That is nice. It would be nice to be able to shoot video with just my phone, but it's not going to happen. And when we're talking like battery life, not as good because it has to run all this other stuff, including dialing the police when you've eaten poisonous berry. But swapping out a battery would be a pain in the butt. Can you do unlimited recording like you can on the G85 or the Sony X3000? I can record that thing all day long. All day long. You want to do a 2-hour podcast? Go for it. So to sum it up, smartphones are catching up to at least the simple pictures in everyday life. Pretty much they're right there. When you want to be more exciting with the nature stuff and far distance and the moon, Saturn, it's like, no, you're not there yet. And for video, not even close, depending on who you're comparing to at least. So I think mirrorless is still here to stay. There's still a future for the platform, and smartphones suck for video. Even though I'm filming at f6, there's no blurry background. You can see everything there. My dying aloe plant. There's nothing blurry about that. I don't have an ND filter. I'm not willing to invest in this tiny micro 4/3 sensor system. We're waiting for the full frame announcement from Canon and Sony. So we're done. Post your thoughts down below. Have smartphones killing off the DSLR and mirrorless? Or is there still a hope for us here? I think there's hope. So we're done here. Thanks for watching. Subscribe for more videos. I never post affiliate links to anything. Why do I not do that? Affiliate links down below for something. But we're done. Subscribe for more videos, and I'll see you in the next one.